Alrighty, good morning everyone. I have been trying to make this video for like a week now and I always keep getting stumped, and I did one of them, but then I was like it was too much editing, and I don't mind editing videos, but I just don't want to take all the time in the world. So anyway, welcome to my first episode, or I guess, yeah, if you're new to this channel, I'm gonna create a channel where I talk about different things, all kinds of subjects, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna do it. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Luis Lopez Quinones. Actually, my full name, Luis Lopez Quinones, Luis Armando Lopez Quinones. Yes. My parents are from Guatemala, which is a country after Mexico in Central America. I was actually born in Guatemala, in a little tiny, I wouldn't call it a town when I was born there. It's probably like a little village called Chimaltenango, and I'll go into detail with that one day on one of the subjects that I talk about. But yeah, I'm very happy to be from Guatemala, and I'll explain that, also later. But now the reason why I'm doing this. I was born with a certain brain condition. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible, so another day, another topic, we can go ahead and talk deep about it. I think I'm in a textbook somewhere, and I'll find the textbook thing, and I'll read it out loud. I was born with basically, to keep it simple, I was born with like two brains. So, we have a brain, then for some reason, I have another one back here, and it's weird because they thought this little guy right here didn't wake up until I hit puberty, which is odd. It was just dormant. And I hit puberty and I started having seizures and all this stuff. And so they took X-ray, of course, they took all these kinds of scans and everything. And yeah, it turns out that all of a sudden I had two operating systems. I had iOS in the main one, and then I had an Android back here. Can you imagine a phone trying to work with those two operating at the same time? Well, of course, I was having like seizures because, one brain wanted to like be in charge, the other one wanted to be in charge. Long story. Anyway, so they basically brought it down to medication, so that they would like either one of them would kind of chill and be like, okay, I'm not the boss, let the big boss do the work, or at least they would at least work together. So I was on that medication for a long time, and then one day my neurologist was like, why are you taking this hippie drug? And I'm like, why are you calling it hippie? He was like, because it was invented in the 70s. And he's like, there's a better version of that now. And, thankfully I believed him, because, yeah, that I was first taking this medication called Tegretol. Nothing against the medication. It worked, so that's good. But it completely killed or stopped my metabolism from working. And I was like a noodle I was like spaghetti thin in high school, and all of a sudden I became the huge meatball. And so my neurologist was like, okay, let's put you on Keppra instead. And now I'm taking 3 Keppras, and then I also started taking Keppra with Tegretol. Long story short, I got weaned off Tegretol. Yay. I lost a lot of weight because of that. I've had people come up to me and go, did you have gastric bypass surgery? I'm like, no. I'm not even exercising or anything. My metabolism is just working, and I'm so thankful for that. But anyway, so now with the Keppra, which is actually right here, I'm about to take my morning meds. I have 2 of them right here. 3 in the morning, 3 at night. That's what we said with the doctor. And so right now I only have two. And that's because I told the doctor, hey, do you think we can kind of wean off the Keppra? And he was like, yeah, because you're taking the highest dose. You know, these are like 500 milligrams, and it's 3 in the morning and 3 at night. So it is a pretty high dose. So he said, yeah, let's go ahead and start doing that. So I started doing that. Then I began to notice something. I was having trouble with my speech. And I've never had trouble speaking. I am having trouble speaking Spanish. Not because of my double brains, but because I'm forgetting Spanish. Thankfully, my mother's like, no, there's no way I'm gonna let you forget your first language. So she always corrects my Spanish if I say something wrong in Spanish, or I say it differently, or it's supposed to be like, you know, she's always correcting me, and that's the teacher in her, because my grandmother was a teacher, she was a teacher, so she's always like correcting my Spanish, which I appreciate. But anyway, I noticed I was having trouble, like all of a sudden speaking in English. I would like I couldn't think of the word I wanted to say, so I was just like, okay, this is weird. So I called the doctor and I made an appointment. I'm gonna see him later this month. But in the meantime, he's like, he's like, maybe we're pulling back on the Keppra too fast. And so I'm getting some blood work done on Valentine's Day, which is on Wednesday, I believe, yes. And then he'll check that out. And he's like, in the meantime, he's like, try talking as much as you can. And I'm like, well, I'm like talking, and so I'm not a big chatterbox like my mother. She's a chatterbox. I'm not. I'm more like my dad, who's quiet. But you know, a lot of people, friends, were like, just turn on your camera and talk about whatever. And I'm like, I follow a lot of YouTube channels where I enjoy the opinions of different people that are different, that are good at different things, and I enjoy hearing their opinions. So I thought, okay, well, I can talk about, maybe I'll give my opinion. Not that anybody probably cares. Hold on. But also it's funny because I've been told by a lot of, well, not by a lot, but like by 2 or 3 different people that I should write a book. And I'm like, why would I write a book? I'm just me, but I've had a pretty amazing life. I do, great life. And I have so many stories of so many things that have happened to me over the years. I like to travel. I love art. I'm a music major, and that's what I graduated from. I went and studied music along with drama. So I love musicals. I love, playing instruments. I love teaching that. And so I guess I'm gonna talk about that. If I'm not gonna, like, for example, I'm not into like what's the latest trend or doing this or that, but I'm like, I can talk about stuff that I know, and perhaps you might share the same opinion, perhaps you might not, I don't know, but you can let me know in the comments, what your opinion is about whatever I talk about. And also, if you have any opinion, if you have any subject you'd like me to touch on, I can definitely do that as well. Because, I don't know why I was born with 2 brains, but they say we only use 10% of our brains. I know that's a total myth. So I'm like, well, if I have 2, I'm using 20%. So yeah, that makes me a little smarter. And I'm not trying to make myself all, you know, what's the word? You see, this is an example of when the word just escaped me. I'm not trying to get a big head or whatever, but I am knowledgeable in a lot of stuff, and I've, a lot of people come to me for suggestions, topics. I've done weddings, photography. I've been able to design clothes, to make clothes, to draw clothes, to plan weddings, to sing at weddings, to sing at funerals, to plan funerals, to plan all these kinds of events. So I have a lot of just info, and I do a lot of stuff myself, so I'm into a lot of that, and music too. I love music, and I might not be like, if I see a fashion show, for example, I really don't. I'm like, sometimes I look at the designs and I'm like, people wear that? It's a little weird. But, I do follow other channels like Hot Lamode. He is very knowledgeable on what, he has these roasts, or he goes over what, celebrities wear to the Grammys or to wherever, and he does also the shows for the big, Chanel, Dior, Schiaparelli, I think. You see, I'm learning. He's teaching me how to say these names. Anyway, he's good at that, and I'm good at other stuff like that. So I'm like, let's just work on my speech, and that's gonna help me. This is gonna help me work on my speech. So, by you watching, but just by me sitting here doing this, it doesn't matter if people watch it or not. It's gonna help me with my speech, and it's also, and if it helps anyone else in any kind of way, shape, or form, changes your opinion about something. If you have a question about anything that has to do with either playing the piano, drums, singing, painting, art, anything like that, I'd be happy to share it with you. I have a lot of, I do have a lot of knowledge and a lot of stuff. So why keep it all in here when I can share with everybody out there, and at the same time help myself, get a better control of my diction, how I, not addiction, but I guess that's the right word to say, to be able to speak clearly, and not have to wait for your brain to catch up to you, or one of the brains that you have to catch up to you. So anyway, welcome to the first episode. I thought I'd introduce myself. I was going to talk about something that came out in the media recently. That was going to be my first topic, but I'm not going to go into that because I want to keep these videos short. And I'm already at 13 minutes, so I already passed my 10-minute limit. So I'm going to keep them short, but I'm going to talk about different stuff. I'd love to hear the comments, your opinions on things. You might be able to change my opinion. I might be able to change yours. That'd be great. I don't mind that. Sorry, there's background noises, and I don't know if I'm gonna have like nice background music behind me right now, or when I edit this video. But anyway, I'll stop for now, finish my water, because I have to drink the whole bottle of water with I have one medication left. And then I hope you all have a great Monday. Hope your weekend went well. I already knew that, I don't care for Super Bowl Sunday or anything like that. Sport, yeah, if you're here to think that I'm gonna talk about sports, wrong person to speak to, because I don't really care for sports. I mean, I love volleyball, I like tennis, but for me, the Super Bowl is mostly about the commercials and the halftime show. So anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna keep it simple at the moment, and I'm just gonna introduce myself in this episode, and then we'll see what I pick for the topic for tomorrow, and see you guys then. Alrighty, thanks for watching.